5 reasons why you should never, ever, 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 ever cold call again. Forget it. You're never going to have to do it. And with these 5 compelling reasons, y'all will never pick up a phone ever a day in your life, okay? Number 1 is this. If you decide to cold call, right? A reason that you never should is if you did, then you would get out of your mom's basement or stop living in your shithole apartment. And who wants to do that? Who wants to not be the victim? Who wants to actually be productive, right? When we could sit there and just complain on Facebook groups and on our profile and make people feel sorry for us and then get all this unwanted sympathy from people. Isn't that better, right? You can just live at home with your parents, right? Or your mom or your dad or whoever it is, and you can be 30, 40, 50 years old and not have a care in the world. Sit there in your sweatpants and in your Crocs and not have to do anything and be an unproductive member of society. Isn't that the ultimate dream? Isn't that what we look forward to? Not having responsibilities and not doing anything? So go ahead. If you don't cold call, that's guaranteed. You can stay under mommy and daddy's roof, stay in your apartment, and you won't have to worry about anything ever. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2 is, if you decided to cold call and did it consistently, right, you would actually be productive and put deals together. And that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be, a producing real estate agent or an effective salesperson. You're supposed to be the struggling one who always points the finger and blames at the customer and says, they're crazy and they don't want to buy and the economy sucks and interest rates are high and all these excuses, right? That's the cool thing and that's the right thing to do. So God forbid that you would actually pick up the phone and put deals together. No, you definitely don't want to do that. You want to struggle to pay your rent. You want to be behind in your bills. You want your credit card debt to climb and to skyrocket. That's what you want. You want that for sure, because that's just the way of living. We're supposed to suffer as human beings, and you want to keep yourself in that state as much as possible. You definitely want to do that, okay? That's number 2. Number 3 is that you'll actually, if you cold call, right, you'll build confidence and then learn how to talk to people. You don't want to do that. You want to stay socially awkward. You want to continue to get your groceries delivered to your house, to do the Uber Eats thing to your house, right? To do the online dating through apps. You don't want to deal with people. You don't want to talk with them. People are evil. People are bad. You don't want to do it. Why would you want to be confident? Why would you want to be able to go out there and get what you want out of life? Why would you want to be able to connect with people? Why would you want to be social? Who wants to do that? All the people who are social butterflies and good at talking to people, they're all weird. Who wants to do that? You want to stay the victim. You want to lack confidence, because then you can blame everything and everyone outside of you, and again, you won't have to do anything, and it'll be okay, and everyone will pat you on the back, and everyone will feel sorry for you, and you'll live in your comfortable misery. Isn't that the way that you want? Why would you want to break out of that? It just doesn't make any sense, right? Reason number 4 that you don't want to cold call ever is, if you did, you would actually build a business that works and that's productive. And who wants that? Right? We're supposed to be on the grind 24/7. We're supposed to be the struggling, entrepreneur or artist or whoever we are. We're not supposed to thrive, because all the people that flaunt and that are successful are all douchebags, right? They're all fake. They didn't earn it. They're trust fund babies or whatever. You can't just earn it from the ground up. So why even bother? You weren't born into the right family. You don't have the right connections. You don't have the network. You weren't born with the skills. You don't have the talent. Maybe you're not tall. Maybe you're not good looking. You just weren't chosen. So why would you want to do the very thing that would get you out of that? Stay where you're at. Be content where you're at. Don't go for more. Why do you want to be so ambitious? Why do you want to be happy? Just be miserable and comfortable in your misery like everybody else. Why go for more, right? And lastly is, if you decided to cold call, that would lead to you having a purpose and structure for your life. And Lord knows that's a recipe for success, which you don't want. Why would you want that? Why would you want structure and purpose behind your life? Why not just wander aimlessly? Why not just waste your time and keep putting it into TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all that mindless pleasure? Because that's where it's supposed to go, to where you can just scroll and watch videos from sun up to sundown and everything's going to be okay. Why go for more? Why not just stay with the status quo? The status quo, the average. Don't you love average? Don't you want to be average? And not have a desire to do more? So why would you want structure? Why would you want purpose behind what you do? That doesn't make sense. That's just a bunch of fugazi and a bunch of BS that people talk about to try to sell you something. Now, as we're wrapping up this video, y'all, I hope you've realized very early on that this video was satire. And I guarantee you that this video is probably going to get a lot more views than my other videos, because people are going to be like, oh, he's finally, saying something or admitting this and that. When in reality, it's the real work that you're going to have to put in. Right? I don't even think this was that funny. But I do these types of videos for a point, to show people that we're always looking for the fucking easy way out. We need to stop that. Now, I want you to leave a comment below and let me know how long it took you for you to figure out that this was satire. Hopefully it was within the first 20 to 30 seconds. Because if you were really listening for the first 2, 3, 4 minutes, hoping deep down inside that I was finally going to admit something or some secret, that's the problem that I've been talking about for a long time. Is even though you may be listening on the surface, you're not really hearing what I'm saying and processing it correctly with an open mind. Everybody's coming in, right? Even when people ask questions nowadays, I want you to pay attention to this and tell me if it's you. They're asking questions already looking for a predetermined answer that they put in their mind. They're not genuinely listening and saying, okay, I'm open. It's, well, I'm asking this question, but I really want you to answer this way. And they'll go around and ask different people until they get the answer that they want to hear, which is wrong. I made it clear to people time and time again, you cannot abandon these basic principles. There's no way around it. There's just so much benefit to these things. Yes, they're difficult. Yes, it's challenging. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It is 100% worth it. For those of you who are willing to accept it and put in the work and not look for cheat codes and shortcuts and all this stuff. So I really urge many of you to snap out of whatever funk that you're in. Because a lot of these things that are brought up in this video you're doing, like scrolling on Instagram and playing the victim and pointing the finger at everything and everyone except for the person who stares right back at you in the mirror and saying, you know what, I need to get my shit together. Because everybody's going to have their challenges and issues. Everybody. Everybody. I continue to have them, and so do you. Like, I've had to make a lot of adjustments the last year and a half in my businesses and everything that I do. From moving companies to ending relationships to team members, right, and my transition from one company to another. I've had to deal with a lot. You know, I've moved offices, got rid of an office, got rid of my assistant. I made a lot of changes that I needed to make. Planning for the future, looking at my current circumstance, and preparing myself for the next level. Selling all the cars and getting more real estate, right? Like, all that stuff feeds into this. But I've made the moves that I need to make. Are you? Are you committing to the right process? Are you doing what you need to do? Or are you just aimlessly kind of fumbling along, looking for the next little secret thing that you think is going to be the answer? Because that does not exist. It never has and it never will. There is no secret. I've been a very open and transparent book with all of you over the years. Pretty much everything about the process in my life you know. There's very few things that you don't know. So what is it going to be? Is it going to take videos like this that are satire for people to wake up? I surely hope not. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that the point was made. Okay? Leave a thumbs up, support the channel. I'll see you in the next video. All right? Peace.